Hello viewers, this is OBN Horn of Africa. You are watching our weekly program, Invest in Ethiopia. Today we will be discussing digital economy. To discuss this issue, I joined by Masai Hailamaram, digital business specialist. Stay tuned till the end of our program. Mr. Masai, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Would you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, Fukadu. I am Masai Hailamaram. I used to be in the private sector, and now I joined to the digital transformation and digital foundation project, working as a digital business specialist, mainly concerning digital issues and business and startup issues.
Well, what does digital economy mean? Let me start from this.
Digital economy actually is a very broad term, which means it is an economic activity which results from the use of digital technology and the internet. And we can define it like doing business using internet and digital technologies. It essentially different from the traditional economic activities. It actually enables the normal production, distribution, and trade. And in addition to that, it is a sector by itself, generating income and being a business by itself. For this, it is usually based on data, which is called the lifeline of digital economy. And using data, the data that we collect, accumulate, and use fuels innovation in technology. Like innovation in technology, you can use it for understanding consumer needs, maybe personalized experience, like data-driven decision making. All these are going to be part of data as a lifeline for digital economy. That's why our Prime Minister last time said data is a lifeline of digital economy. So we can use digital technologies, digital data, which is machine readable. Usually we call it in the form of zeros and ones, where the data that can be read by computers and digital devices like mobiles, and it could be collected from sensors and actuators. So digital data is called the lifeline. So it is a kind of business that is done via internet, using internet as a medium, and it usually can be used for productivity and efficiency. So when we say data is a lifeline, so capturing, accumulating, and using data and analyzing data and using the data is going to be the major component of the digital economy, as you may know. That's why any country or a business or a person must pass through three different stages of digital economy. First, you have to convert all your data into digital forms, like digital voice, digital text. So scanning, maybe you must scan all the documents that you have as a government, especially, and you must have a digital image which is captured through camera. Then after digitizing this old content, what you do is you actually digitalize the processes. For example, the best example is digitalizing finance is part of digitalization, but scanning a given document is part of digitization. So in order to reach at the digital economy stage, as you may know, digitization and digitalization are the major components that we must pass through. Then we will have the digital data, which is the lifeline of the digital economy, and in general, having functioning, well-protected from cyber attack, a well-protected data is going to be the economic base of digital economy.
Ethiopia has designed a digital Ethiopia 2025. What are the enabling factors that will help to realize the objectives of the national digital transformation known as Digital Ethiopia 2025?
In general, there were these 4 or 5 components which are considered as pillars for the digital economy that serves the digital era of this year. The first one is infrastructure, as you know. Digital economy cannot happen on only human communications like the traditional market or like the usual market. You cannot just go to a market, talk to a person, and buy or sell goods and services. Rather, there must be a digital infrastructure over which people communicate, people interact, people show their products, and people pay, and people are delivered by the product they buy digitally online. For this, the first infrastructure that we need is called the basic one. The most basic one is a power infrastructure, electric power. There has to be a sustainable, non-interrupted power supply that must be there. The second infrastructure is connectivity. Connectivity is internet connectivity. We call it internet connectivity, either in broadband or in a fixed line. There must be a internet connectivity for digital economy to happen. So this is the infrastructure component or enabling factor that is very important for the digital economy to happen. The second one is digital economy happens over internet. Internet is on digital technologies. I mean, digital technologies and the internet. So all those systems must be there. For example, the systems that are needed for business to happen is there must be an identification and verification systems. There must be interoperability systems, and there must be security systems. There are registries, payment systems. All those systems must be there for digital economy to happen. So the second major key factor is enabling systems, which actually enable buyers and sellers, or the demand and the supply side, through the digital infrastructure. So there must be some systems. The third component can be applications. Applications are digital economy usually involves e-commerce and e-government. When e-government is like providing government services through internet, maybe registration, maybe requesting any service, maybe delivering the service online or part of the service online, and those applications are necessary. We can say, for example, e-commerce platforms must be there, and e-government platforms also must be there. And the others are these fundamental or core issues are we must have adequate access to finance and trained human capital or skilled human capital that can use digital technologies. And the other is, for all this to happen, we must need policy and regulatory environment to happen. These are the key factors that enable digital economy for Ethiopia or anywhere else, and those must be there for any digital transaction or digital business online to happen.
Excellent. So far, what has been achieved in this regard?
The digital strategy 2025, Digital Ethiopia, which we call Digital Ethiopia 2025, has identified many key gaps in all those factors that I have said. The first, regarding the infrastructure, there is the gap identified in the power sector was tried to be addressed. Like I can mention, the production has significantly increased from 2018, 2019, from 139 kilowatt per hour to 161 kilowatt per hour in 2023. So there was a midterm assessment of this Digital Ethiopia 2025, and in that we have actually identified there is a productions and even exporting. We are exporting currently to the neighboring countries power, like we have generated in millions of dollars. To mention, in 2020, about 66.4 million USD, and in 2022, for neighboring countries, we were able to export 93.5 million USD of power. So this is a great achievement in terms of power, but still in terms of accessibility, we need to access power all over the country, so that different groups of people, including farmers, including disabled peoples, including displaced people, must do digital transactions or must participate in digital economy. The second infrastructure achievement is in internet connectivity. In the internet connectivity, you may remember that there is a big reform of opening the telecom sector for foreign investors, and one telecom operator has already joined the Ethiopian market, and that is a big achievement by itself. But currently, you might have heard that more than 77 million to 90 million people have access to internet. This is regarding the infrastructure. Regarding the enabling systems, including national ID, which works for interoperability and verification, authentication, all those processes which are required for digital transaction, for a trusted digital transaction to happen, has registered significant number of citizens. About 4.1 million people are registered currently on the FIDA system, and they have access to the digital ID, and they can be part of the digital transaction of digital economy. The third one is there is an improvement, a significant improvement in the digital payment. As you may know, whether you have done it online or offline in the traditional way, there has to be payment for what you buy. For any product or service you buy, you need to pay. So there are options to pay for digital transactions, and the digital transaction requires digital payment. So the digital payment is in Ethiopia. Digital finance sector is significantly transformed. I can say it is transformed. So the critical challenges, like we have been saying previously, like financial inclusion, all those things are being addressed. They are in the process of being addressed, and accordingly, it has registered. Maybe I can quote National Bank of Ethiopia here. It has registered a 750% growth in the last 5 years. That is a very significant achievement in the digital payment. And like today, we have more than 32 million bank users, mobile bank users, and more than 90 million digital money users. So all these achievements are meaningful in the transformation of the digital technology in Ethiopia, and it has actually paved, or it is actually paving the way to joining the digital economy very soon by Ethiopia. So these are significant achievements in terms of the infrastructure. In terms of the regulatory, there are achievements in having various regulatories by the telecom regulatory, and there are regulations which are enacted on e-commerce. There are regulations enacted by National Bank of Ethiopia, but still we need to have others to act in order to fully participate in the digital economy, for Ethiopia to fully participate in the digital economy.
As you have mentioned, there are different institutions are assigned to perform certain activities. Does this create issues? What's your take on this?
Actually, the achievement above shows you the core infrastructure. Institutions working on the infrastructure are committed. There is a significant achievement and growth by Ethio Telecom. There are achievement involvements in the digital economy, in the digital transformation for the economy. By National Bank of Ethiopia, there are achievements registered by Ministry of Innovation and Technology, and there are other achievements which are achieved and which are significant and which actually are big strides in the economy, in the digital economy. So coordination and governance of this digital economy is handled in a very, I can say, in a very coordinated manner. So the coordination is there, but still everybody involved in the digital economy has a lot of things to do. There are a lot of things that must be done by Ministry of Trade and Regional Integration, by Ministry of Finance, by even National Bank itself, Ministry of Innovation and Technology. And there are lots of things which have been done, especially on the regulatory and creating a very smooth digital transactions to happen, including INSA. There are a lot of institutions to be involved in this one. So since the government is handled at the higher level, very higher level, that coordination, especially the contribution of digital committee of Ethiopia, has played a significant role in registering very good results.
Let me come to the artificial intelligence. What is the specific purpose of establishing artificial intelligence center by the government?
Artificial intelligence is a kind of digital technology. The first thing that I would like to say about artificial intelligence is artificial intelligence supports the human productivity, and it is a very important input for innovation and research. So when we say about the productivity and efficiency, for example, artificial intelligence like robots can support manufacturing in manufacturing and increases the efficiency of the product and in keeping the quality of the product, and even in substituting some drawbacks of human labor. For example, a human labor can be fatigued, and a human labor cannot stay focused for very long, and all those issues are not the problem of robots, for example. Robotics are not tired and they can work 24 hours. So there is a possibility that they can increase productivity all over. The other is they help human beings, the productivity of individuals and the productivity of businesses, as well as the productivity of the government itself. The others is in artificial intelligence, there are lots of enabling factors that can transform other sectors. In agriculture, for example, you can use sensors and collect data from sensors and actuators, and finally put those under analysis by artificial intelligence and data analytics or big data analytics. We can find some patterns that are not visible through human eye, or that are embedded in a very big data, which is not easier for us to comprehend. So artificial intelligence actually is an important, significant technology that enables us to find new products. For example, there are new products that are coming to market and new services are happening.
Can e-commerce and the e-government cut out the bureaucracy, public service inefficiency, and the corruption in Ethiopia? What do you think on this?
Yes and no. Yes, because the technology itself provides digital processes which are optimized for profit making and growth, for example, in e-government. But unless the mindset of the people is changed, unless the people are not free of corruption, and if they don't believe in the level and quality of the services that e-government provides, it doesn't work. So we have to equally work on the mindset of the people. But e-government is nothing but providing the government services online. Successful e-government services must first design their processes in a way that they not actually automate the bureaucratic processes. Sometimes e-government applications and digitized services might contribute rather to the bureaucracy itself, to the red tape and bureaucracy. How? If you, for example, without optimizing the process, without thinking the process in a detailed manner, if you automate the government services as is bureaucratic, then you are totally contributing to the bureaucracy itself. So in this manner, e-government doesn't actually cut off or reduce the bureaucratic and red tape issues. But if the processes are well standardized, and if you actually automate the standard business operations, I think it contributes greatly to the reduction and maybe elimination of bureaucracies, red tape, corruption, all those. I think the digital technology helps. Technology by itself is not a solution, but it is just a tool. So e-government is a tool, not if the system is corrupted, maybe it is easier to provide services, it is easier to identify whether there are flaws, delays, corruptions, all those. But we have to build the government, not the government employees' mindset, so that they can believe and they can be proud of giving services. And if they believe in it, I think the e-government works very fine in reducing the bureaucracy. Regarding e-commerce, e-commerce actually is conducting commerce through internet. So bureaucracies, maybe they are very, very low in the private sector, and because in the e-commerce private sector is the owner, that is another issue. But in the e-government, the explanation I provided is good enough, I think.
Finally, if you have anything to add You are welcome.
Yes, in the digital economy, private sector is a major player. Private sector has to lead the digital economy. And so the private sector ecosystem, or the business ecosystem, that includes the startups, the grown-up businesses, and the entrepreneurs, must develop very well. So we need to develop a kind of interventions like regulatory issues. We have to address the problem of the private sector. We have to build the capacity of the private sector so that they can be capable of providing efficient services. And in addition to that, there must be an awareness of the general population. We need literacy campaigns all over the nation for all groups of people, and skill development issues have to be developed. And digital economy is no more a choice, it is now a necessity. So in diversifying Ethiopian economy, and in order to create new decent jobs, not just jobs, decent jobs, in order to attract foreign investment, and in order to register sustainable development, I think the digital economy is no more an option, it is a necessity.
Mr. Masai Hailamaram, a digital business specialist, thank you for your time and a deep insight on our program. Really, I appreciate.
Thank you, Gado, for having me.
Dear viewers, that's all what we have for today. See you next time. Bye-bye.